There are many times in my life, well, I don't know about many, but definitely several times in my life where I felt burnt out, where I felt like there wasn't any more energy or desire to want to get things done in life, to take care of the responsibilities that I need to do, to live life basically. And we all at some point get to a place where we just kind of crash and burn because we just overwhelm ourselves with too many tasks and responsibilities. There's just too much on our plate. There's so much hardships and challenges in our lives. I mean, there's many reasons and factors for us dealing with being burnt out. And I just wanted to share some of the things that I've recognized for myself to help me handle these situations a lot better, and also just bring awareness before I get to a place where I do completely burn out. And in recent adulthood, in my recent times where I did feel very burnt out, I just remember it wasn't so much that there was like troublesome things going on in my life, but it was probably more self inflicted, where I just put too much on the plate for myself, where I was giving myself too much work and responsibilities and tasks, more than I could probably handle. And so I've had desires in recent years to just want to grind, to be productive, and achieve a lot of things, set goals for myself, and try to achieve them. And a lot of times when I do that is I could set too many goals for myself, and probably more than I could handle. And maybe what I should have done is probably set smaller goals or not have too big of lofty goals that require too much work. So I remember there was one stretch in my life where I was having my usual career work, putting a lot of time into that, while also taking care of some personal family matters and volunteering for community service through my church, while also managing a social life, hanging out with friends, and also just having multiple social groups, and exercising, working out, being committed to jiu-jitsu, and also on top of that, you know, being very intentional with dating and meeting new people, going on dates, trying to look to be in a serious relationship. So when you add all those things together, you do realize like that's a lot on the plate. That's a lot of responsibilities and tasks for me to fulfill. And also on top of that is also doing this, creating content, streaming as well, and doing it for a couple months. It feels good. You feel productive, and you feel like nothing could really get in your way. And even during that stretch, I'm able to get good enough sleep, trying to get 7 to 8 hours a day. So it's not like I'm sleep deprived while I'm doing this. But you could imagine like every day doing one of these tasks, even including during the weekends. The schedule's always packed and I'm always doing something. So that leaves a little time for myself and for some rest. Obviously, some of those things are things that I do enjoy doing. So it doesn't feel that draining, and in fact probably gives me more energy throughout the routine. So, but at some point, there's only so much I can handle trying to handle all these tasks and fulfill these goals. And I do recall like just getting to a point where I feel overwhelmed. I feel like my body's breaking down. It feels like all my faculties, my mental state, emotional state, physical and spiritual state, they're all just kind of taking a toll, and it feels like I'm running on fumes. And so it's interesting to kind of have that sense, like that awareness that I'm probably gonna deflate, and all these faculties that I have, all these different states, is I might take a toll on it. And so I came to the realization that maybe that I need to cut some of these things off, and maybe it'll help with just giving myself time to recover. And so some of the things I took out was, just like maybe the dating portion of my life, or cutting out the volunteer hours, handling being finished with like some of the family matters or tasks, responsibilities that I had to do. So when I cut some of these things off, uh, and also just getting some rest and going on vacation, going on a trip where I don't have to think about all these things, where I could just go out and just have a good time and just not really think about all the busyness and responsibilities. You know, it eventually it did help, because what I needed was just some time to recuperate and not burn myself out, not overexert myself through utilizing all this energy into all these tasks, and having my brain and all my faculties being used up the entire time. And so even when I took these things out, I noticed like there was like a down period where I wasn't feeling the best, where I wasn't the most energized, where I didn't really have a sense of urgency to get things done, to be as productive. And it seems like that's just that is the effects of being burnt out. And it just giving myself some time to just recover. And I think eventually I was able to recover, maybe a month or two in, where I did cut a lot of things out, and having that extra time to just relax, and not overwhelming myself with a lot of duties and responsibilities, was a great practical way for me to just recuperate, recover, and let all my faculties just regain itself. Like, seems like there's a bar that you have for all your faculties, like an energy bar, and the energy bar just dwindled down close to 0%. And it seems like when I took those activities or those duties away, it allowed me to slowly recharge myself and get to a place where I'm I'm at a optimal state of just feeling good again, and not being so burnt out. And for me, because this was self inflicted, it's like these are things you could control, you could have awareness of, and you could be able to cut things out for you to be at a better place, for you to uh, control the path of you not being burnt out. Um, but I know for many people, I know there are times and there are stretches in life where You still need to push forward. You have to, because maybe you need to continue to work to provide for your family, or um, you have a family and you're taking care of kids, and being a parent that consumes so much time. There's just other factors, or there's life challenges, difficulties, hardships that come along, and you can't. There are times where you can't just take a break. You may be feeling burnt out, um, and maybe you don't have that luxury to just cut things out and just kind of stop. And the thing is, like, that's where it's hard and it's difficult. But I do feel like there are ways where you could get rest. Obviously getting enough sleep and exercising, doing things that are gonna be stress relieving for you, can definitely benefit. Having a proper diet. Um, having people that you can talk to about what you're going through. That also in a way brings a lot of relief to your mental state, to your emotional state, being able to let things out of how you feel. That certainly helped in my process of times that I did feel burnt out. And so there are definitely ways where you could get to a place where you could kind of alleviate the burnout. And even in those burnouts, it's only for a season, it's only for a short period of time. And maybe you will eventually have some time after that rough stretch where you can take a break and you can just rest and give yourself time to recuperate, do things that energizes you, that you enjoy, or just relax, just not really do anything. um, so I think those are pretty practical, good practical ways that you could utilize for you to deal with being burnt out. We all overcompensate ourselves in stretches and seasons of our lives, so it's important just to have those awareness and find solutions, find practical ways that could help alleviate those seasons of burnouts. And so, those are things that I did for myself, and maybe there might be other things that I haven't mentioned that you could utilize that could help with that. And if there's other things that you guys experience that you would like to share, feel free to leave it in the comment section, and for me and for others to see, because this is something that we all deal with, and we all want to find ways to deal with difficult stretches in our life, especially times when we feel like we're getting burnt out. And so that's my 2 cents. That's my thoughts on that, and hopefully my perspective will lend you some help when it comes to dealing with being burnt out. So if you find this video helpful, if you enjoyed the video, please drop a like for this video, subscribe to this channel, and hit the notification button so you know when our next uploads are. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for all the support, and I hoped to put out more videos like this or other type of content that may be entertaining and helpful for you. Till then, guys, I'll see you guys later.